Shegun Fatima, welcome. Rochelle White. Mofe Lola. Lola Shoronke. Jefferson Uzoma. Been quite a while. Nikki Christian. Miranda. Nkiru. Welcome everyone to an exciting week. Nkem DK. You decided to come back to us, Nkem. Dr. Sufficient is not sleeping yet. Usheshuku Amadi, Stella Nuhu. Well, as you are coming in, please go ahead and share the link, the message. Pearl David, Shigon Wafo, Deborah Cole, Bola Motosho, Shoma. Okay, let's begin our training this week. This week, I'm going to be starting another topic. And like I promised that all this month, the things that we'll be talking about will have to do with destroying the illusions and deceptions of miracles, manipulation of pastors, getting you to come and sit in church for months and months or weeks and weeks, just in hope of miracles, and people trying to get you to give money every time. But I want to rather show you and prove to you that you can live your life without all those manipulations. You can live your life just having personal relationship with the Lord, growing in Him, getting to know Him, and developing yourself, developing your skills, and just being skillful, becoming skillful in what you do, developing yourself, adding value to yourself, and knowing the laws of life and mastering these laws so that you'll be able to handle life, you'll be able to manage life, and you'll be able to do better as a manager of the earth. God has placed every one of us here to be able to not just manage our own lives, but to manage the earth for Him. But the only impediment, the only thing standing on our way from being able to do that is because of our limitation in understanding. It's because we don't know the resources that we have, or we don't know how to develop those resources, or how to maximize all the resources that God has already given unto us. So we have enough to be able to use, to be able to put our lives in order, and to be able to put the world around us in order. And one of those resources that we have is what I'll be talking about today. That is the resources of the mind. I'm going to be talking about the resources of our mind this week. So this whole week, I'm starting a new topic, which is learning the art of thinking. Learning the art of thinking. I just hope I'll be able to handle this topic for a week. It might be more than a week, because the ability to think is not so easily come across as you think. But today's topic is going to start with learning the art of thinking. Deep calls the deep. Deep calls to the deep. So I'm going to talk about just kind of introductory today. This morning. I will definitely continue in the evening. Do you know, sometimes we walk about life very naive. And I want to start with a confession this morning, that I am one of those naives that was walking around and about the surface of the earth. Just gullible, naive, and absolutely ignorant of the reality of the world that I was living in. It will surprise you to know that it's only after I was 40 that's the truth. I just have to tell you the way it is. Only after I was 40 years old did I discover that most people in our world and around me, in particular in Christianity, was simply superficial. I wouldn't have thought as much. I never knew and I never could believe that most people on our planet are shallow or shallow-minded. I would have actually, if anybody has suggested that to me before, as a Christian, as a good Christian, as I thought I was, I would have thought the person who suggested it was being biased, or the person who suggested it was being unfair to other people and was looking down on people and was trying to pull down other people and was probably trying to, exalt himself or be proud. But when you come across reality in real life, and when you have to deal with it on a daily basis, growing up as a kid, most of us are insulated from a lot of the realities that are actually happening in the world, thanks to our parents or our environment. Especially when you're a believer, the church kind of insulates you from a lot of things, a lot of reality that are out there. So you don't really see the real world because you are protected. Just like in my family right now, my kids, they are insulated from knowing how people struggle to make money, how they get to put food on their table. They don't even know where the petrol or the fuel for our car comes from. They don't know how people behave themselves in the workplace, how regular people live. Because most of those things are provided by their parents, all right? So also, and a lot of children are protected from the daily troubles. What is inflation? Why are people protesting? What is the bill for this, bill for that? Most kids don't know that. And we grow up like in that kind of protection, that kind of, isolation and protection from a lot of things. And we remain in it. And that is what gives birth to illusion. So you begin to think that the world is actually the world that you grew up in, that is the same world everybody is growing up in. And you begin to think that the way you think and the way you are, that is the way every family and everybody else is. But this is just the elementary form of it. This is just the elementary basic example of how the world we live in, our environment, our church, our families, insulate us from, some of the realities that are really happening. Now, in my own world, why is it that I had to grow up to be 40 years old? And at this point, at 40, I was already supposed to be very exposed. At 40, I was already leading a church of maybe 100,000 people all over the world, maybe more than 100,000 people. I was already, a leader of like 1,000 other organizations, other churches. I was already speaking in in some very important places. I was already a speaker of well celebrated. So I'm thinking, maybe this is how successful people in Hollywood, high profile people, wealthy people, they don't even get to know how real people live. I'm from the down, I'm from the downtrodden, I'm from the down and out. I'm from the poor people, I'm from the ordinary people. So I know what ordinary people are like, but not to the nitty-gritty of it, not to the details of how people are thinking. Okay, for example, whenever I talk to most people about daydreaming, people are not even aware they are daydreaming. People are not even aware of it. What is it? Okay, oh yeah, oh I heard the word, I know the word, but they don't even know they are living daydream life all their lives. Can you believe it that most people that you know, they don't really live? They just autopilot themselves throughout life. Most people you know, they have not even tasted life. People don't. So a lot of people, maybe 90%, they've not even woken up to consciousness yet. Very few people live a maybe conscientious life they do, but a conscious life, an awakened life. Most of them live an automative life, an autopilot life. They live an automatic kind of life. They do things just automatedly. So in the same manner, when it comes to the mind, thinking and functioning in life, most people are just superficial. That is, most people are not deep. Deepness and depth in thinking is a rare commodity. The reason I think I never was aware of this was because at 19, maybe 18, I got serious with life, right? And before then, I was just like every other person, just like all my colleagues that I was just superficial like every other person. But at 19 or 18 or 19, less than 19, gave my life to the Lord, became very serious, but I termed that as serious. And I thought most of, I just need to be serious. So I enter into that life of, developing myself, going to search for the deep things of life. And I just remained there. I just buried myself in there. I went to university. I was digging deep. And I thought the whole world around me is just like that now. So I went to another reality, and I just assumed that's the way the whole world is now. But we don't really compare. We don't come out of our own realities to compare what we're experiencing with what is really obtainable out there for others. Now, I'm sure that you are still wondering, what is this guy talking about? Where are you going? Well, I'm just trying to let you know about the rude awakening that I got when I began to discover that most people around me, and at first I used to think maybe these were just people around me. Then I discovered, no, people all over the country are like this. Then I said, okay, maybe only people from the former Soviet Union are like this. Then I began to meet Americans. They were even worse. I said, oh my. Then I began to meet English people, Germans, Scandinavian people, everybody, Africans. I thought, I'm in tragedy. This is a tragedy here. What happened? Then who is running the world? I never knew at that point that only about 2-3% of the people in the world are actually running the world. So actually, the rest of the people, they don't innovate anything. They don't come up with their own ideas. They just repeat. They just follow. They just follow the road that has been well trodden by other people. They don't even do. They just walk. They just carry their body up and down. That's what most of the world, 97% of the world, that's what they do. They just carry their body there, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. They need to wake up, they wake up. They need to go to work, they go to work. They need to eat, they eat. They need to go to school, they go to school. They need to get admission somewhere, they get admission. Why? Because people say that. That's what everybody say. That's what's happening. That's what is reigning. So that's how the world lives. So who is deciding those things? Oh, maybe 1%. So why is the whole world following 1 or 2 or 3%? Because they don't think. We're living in a world that doesn't think. You will not believe it. You will not believe it. In fact, I'm thinking some of you are not even awoken yet to this reality. We are not living in a conscious world. Our world is not living in consciousness. You go to church. Oh yeah, we are church members. What do church members do? They jump, they raise hands. Oh, they listen to the pastor. They come back home. They are happy, feeling. Everybody just following their feelings. People just walk about feeling. If it feels good, it means it's right. I want that to think. If it feels good, it's right. Sounds a little bit silly, huh? But that's the way the whole world is living. People don't critique anything. How can you critique when you are not even living in consciousness? People don't live consciously. People live instinctively. So there are two ways to live. Either you are living consciously or you are living instinctively. Now, 99, 98, 97% of people in the world, they live instinctively. That's basically, to make it simple, they just live like, follow what feels good, what seems right, what everybody thinks right. They are not judging every step of the way. They are not judging every of their actions. They are not analyzing every step, every action. Jesus came to declare war against this. I love Jesus. First of all, the Old Testament tells us it takes the deep to call to the deep, talking about the depth of life. You think many people live out of depth from the deep? It's a rare commodity, and it's a rare reality. People don't have time for depth, and people don't live from the depth, from the deep. Deep, the only deep calls to the deep. Most people are not deep enough to call to the deep. In fact, as a matter of fact, one of the greatest manifestation and proof that people don't live consciously, and that they live, I'm not saying consensuously, I'm saying consciously. The proof that they don't live consciously is because most people live to survive. That is a proof by itself that they are not conscious. Most people don't believe in God. That is another proof that they are not conscious. And even those who believe in God, they take church to mean God. Now, this brings a situation to my mind. Yesterday, a woman from one country in Europe here, wrote me and said, crying and appealing to me, please, I need to talk to you urgently. I'm a single mother. My husband just left. A year now, he has not been back. He's gone to another woman, and for 1 year, I've been struggling here with my 2 kids, and I just need to talk to somebody. I'm feeling suicidal. I want to kill myself. So I thought it was urgent. So I said, okay, please call me right now. I mean, not right now, whenever you want to talk. So she said, okay. She wanted to, get my Skype. So I gave it to her. And so when can you talk? I said, I can talk on Sunday. She said, okay, what time? So I gave her my time. Then she said, I'm going to be in church that time. I said, for 1 year, you've been going to church and you still want to commit suicide. And you are telling me, please, I need to talk to you. Please help me. I need to talk to you urgently. Please, I'm going to commit suicide. To talk to me. I gave you 3 hours limit. I said, either this time, 3 times, 3. All those 3 hours, you are not going to make it. Why? Oh, I will still be in church that time. I will still be in church that time. Wait a minute. You've been going to the same church, not missing any service. and you still want to commit suicide? Now you need my help. And I say, yes, I'm available. I will not go to church. I will come and attend to you. Oh, no, I must be in church. Maybe, is there any way you could, any time you could find? I said, I'm going to be with my family this time, but this is the time I can make it. Oh, no, but this time I cannot make, I will be in church. That time also, I cannot make, I will still be in church. You know what about that time? Oh, I cannot make, I will still be in church. So, and then get deliverance there now. Get delivered from your suicide thought there. Why do you need me then? You don't have time for the person who will help you, but you have time for church that you just, because she is thinking, if I miss church, God, it means I'm backsliding. God has hated me. God will hate me. He will kill me. If I don't go to church, so it means if I don't go to church, I've denied God. Cannot miss church. And it has not helped you. So why are you going there? But I must go to church, today is Sunday. Ooh, okay. You know, what is that? People don't think. Then she came back from church and writing me. I just went and just deleted her completely. I just deleted her. She's not serious. Let her go and die. She will meet God. God will explain to her situation. You are not serious. Go to God first. Let God go and explain to you, because big I cannot help now. God will do a better job at that, I think. When she gets to God, God will explain to her. There's just no way I could help. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So what am I saying? This is just an example of how people live their lives. No judgment for the lady. That's her choice. She's okay. She's good. But I woke up to a rude awakening that most people don't think. I'm not sure you people know to what depth I have realized this problem and what I'm talking about. And I think you might even be thinking these are just easy stuff. Why is Pastor taking this thing to be said? In fact, most people, when I began to talk about this in my own church, people say, Pastor, why everybody is like that? Why are you making a tragedy out of nothing? Wow! 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 They said I'm making your Ukrainian in Russian language. There is a saying that says you are making an elephant out of an ant. Wow! Out of an ant? I am magnifying it to become the size of an elephant. Wow! So you don't see the elephant. You are seeing an ant. Only an ant in that room. You don't see that elephant. People don't see elephant. They just say an ant. No problem. No problem. Everything is okay. No problem. No problem. No, that's a big problem. I say, oh, wow. An ant in that room with a big white elephant. Oh, you are the one who made up the elephant. No elephant. It's only just an ant. That's how people live their lives. They don't see problems. Everybody's like that. It's okay. But pastor, no problem. Okay. It takes the deep to see the deep. It takes the deep to see depth. Jesus came to confront this. Go and do a research if you want on how many times Jesus used words like, he that he have ear, let him hear. Go and study. How many times Jesus said, don't you have understanding? Are you still yet without understanding? Can you hear what I say to you? Truly, 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 I say unto you. All those kind of statements from Jesus, they are telling us about how serious Jesus was about this problem. In fact, almost no message was preached by Jesus without saying, he that have here, he that has here, he that have here, let him hear. Or truly, truly, I speak unto you. Do you have understanding? The tragedy of lack of depth is killing our world. And the Bible tells us that my people, God's people, only perish because of lack of knowledge. That lack of knowledge is also not just lack of knowledge in the head, it's also lack of depth. When the Bible says, my people perish for lack of knowledge, it means my people perish for lack of understanding, for lack of insight, for lack of depth. So why am I saying the art of thinking this week? Because I want to teach you how to think. And I want to teach you the principles of thinking. And I want to give you the laws of the mind. And I want to hear what Jesus was trying to tell us. And how to heed his wisdom of ages. And how to be a deep person. How to become deep in thought. How to wake up from slumber of life and of vanity. How to arise. And how to become conscientious. And not just conscientious, conscious in your daily life and in your daily dealings. How to live a conscious life. How to live an awakened life. How to live a life of awareness in everything you do. How to live a life of reality. Instead of a life of hypnotized religiosity. A lot of us believe we are Christians, but we are actually living a life of religious superficiality. We are living a hypnotized life called Christianity. But it's an hypnotized spirituality. That's what we call spirituality these days, or Christianity these days. We have become a disgrace to Christianity. Because the author of Christianity, the founder of Christianity himself, was very conscious about depth. And he's always been conscious about depth. And he's always telling his disciples. And one of the most important things he's always been telling his disciples is, hey, don't be superficial. Don't be superficial. Don't just live like the rest of the world. Don't be like this generation. He said, do not be like this generation. Generations that have ears but don't hear. Generation that have eyes but never see. Generations of people that walk with their feet and carry their body on the face of the earth, but are not even aware what is happening around them. Don't you be like this perverse and deceived generation of people. But you must hear. You must be a generation that hear. You must be a generation that call it deep from the deep into the deep. You must be the generation that have ear to hear. You must be a generation that have understanding, that have insight. And he was always attacking the Pharisees. He was always attacking the Sadducees, because they were the picture of people who lived a superficial life. They were the picture, illustration, direct, examples of people that have ears. They knew all the religion. They knew all the tenets and the laws. But they were not really hearing what God was trying to say. They will quote the scripture, but they will not hear what God is trying to say there. So you read the scripture, and you don't even see that they testify of me. You don't even say it. You don't even say it. Because you are not conscious. My heart bleeds when I see how many people are made in the image of my God, of my Father, of the Creator himself. He has honored us with his nature. He has honored us with his image, with his exemplary personality in us, his spirit in us. Yet we live as if we don't have any relation to him, as if nothing connects us, as if we are totally disjointed, disconnected from him. We don't reason. We don't think like him. We don't imitate him. We don't emulate him. We don't reflect him. We don't think through like him. We don't create like him. Crisis, danger, disgrace, shame. That's why that's one of the main reasons why Jesus called himself not just the life and not just the way, but also the truth. Truth sets people free. But when you live a life of superficiality, you don't really bother too much about the nitty-gritties of the truth. You just follow the crowd. You just do what people tell you is the truth. You don't bother to find out if that is really the truth. You don't go deep. You are satisfied with what you have, with what you are told. Hence he said, knowing the truth is the key to everything. You shall know. You shall know. Knowing. It's personal responsibility. To know is my responsibility. You shall know. It's my responsibility to know. To know, I must not be superficial. I must not be shallow. For me to know, I must take responsibility to know. For me to know, I must discover. For me to discover, I must go deep. To discover, I must research. To discover, I must dig. Deep calls to the deep. It's a global, universal problem. And it has eaten deep into our very existence, to our very society. That's the problem of shallow-mindedness. The problem of shallow-mindedness. People are shallow. People are just surface, superficial, shallow, empty. They carry their body everywhere, that's all. They use the head to laugh. So make me have fun, as much fun as possible. Some people even have profession now to make people just laugh and forget about life. Don't take life too serious. So people even employ comedians and and satirists and people to just come ahead and just make you just to be soft. People even are taking help to become superficial. Just help me to be superficial. Just help me to become shallow. Just help me to become more shallow-minded. You kidding me? People will pay people, come to church or come to anywhere, come and make us shallow. You come and make us just superficial. Just come and make us shallow-minded. Just say some empty, irrelevant things that will just make us relax and make us laugh. Life is not serious. Don't take life serious. We are denying the very nature of God. Because the God that we serve is the Word. That was with God in the very beginning. And the Word from which everything came to pass. Essence is understanding. Essence is knowledge. Essence of God is light. Essence of God is truth. The essence of God is not superficiality. It's not emptiness. It's not some euphoria or empiphoria. I mean, what do you call it? Huh? No. Inferior. You know, it's not some kind of superficiality, some kind of, you know, emptiness like this. When you are empty like that, when you are shallow, you have satisfied just living in the surface. Don't take anything too serious. Yourself too much. You know, just, you know, so it's okay. Okay. Oh, God will do it. Oh, yeah, God will do it. Is it Amphiro? No, not Amphiro. EMPHA. Okay. Sorry, guys. Welcome back. Thank God you waited. Thank God you waited.